What if everything we've been told about our place in the universe is just the beginning of a far darker truth? Right now, while you're watching this, there's something floating in the cold vacuum of space near Saturn that shouldn't exist. A whistleblower from inside NASA has come forward with evidence that could rewrite human history. Before we dive into this jaw-dropping revelation, hit that subscribe button and comment below what you think NASA might be hiding from us. Your engagement helps us bring more of these suppressed stories to light. The information we're about to share comes from multiple sources within the aerospace community, corroborated by recent declassified documents and testimonies that have emerged over the past 18 months. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, and the implications are staggering. The object in question was first detected during a routine survey mission, but what started as standard protocol quickly escalated into one of the most closely guarded secrets in modern space exploration. According to the whistleblower, who worked as a senior data analyst at NASA's Deep Space Network facility in Goldstone, California, the anomaly was initially flagged by automated systems monitoring the Cassini probe's telemetry data in its final years of operation. The readings were unlike anything in the database. The object measured approximately 800 meters in length, showed geometric patterns inconsistent with natural celestial bodies, and emitted intermittent electromagnetic signatures that suggested some form of residual power or decay, process still active after what could be millennia adrift. The discovery sent shockwaves through the upper echelons of NASA's command structure. Emergency protocols were activated and a specialized task force was assembled, drawing personnel from various departments under strict non-disclosure agreements. The whistleblower describes an atmosphere of controlled panic, where scientists and administrators grappled with the magnitude of what they were observing. This wasn't a meteorite or space debris from human missions. The structure displayed deliberate engineering, with what appeared to be modular sections, possible docking ports, and a hull composition that preliminary spectral analysis suggested contained materials not found naturally in our solar system. What makes this revelation particularly compelling is the timing. In recent months, several high-ranking officials from various space agencies have made cryptic statements about the need to prepare humanity for paradigm-shifting discoveries. Former NASA Administrator Charles Bolden, in a 2024 interview, mentioned that classified briefings he received during his tenure contained information that would fundamentally alter public perception of space exploration priorities. While he didn't elaborate, insiders suggest these comments were directly related to discoveries made in the outer solar system. The vessel, according to the leaked data, exhibits characteristics that defy conventional spacecraft design. Its exterior surface appears to have been subjected to intense radiation exposure over an extended period, consistent with deep space travel beyond the protective boundaries of stellar heliospheres. Micrometeorite impact patterns analyzed from high-resolution imagery suggest the craft has been drifting for anywhere between 10,000 to 50,000 years, though these estimates remain speculative without direct sampling. The hull's composition includes metallic alloys with isotopic ratios that don't match any known stellar nucleosynthesis processes in our local galactic neighborhood. One of the most disturbing aspects of this discovery is the apparent damage to the vessel. Large sections of the hull show catastrophic breaches, as if the ship experienced violent conflict or collision. Debris fields detected in proximity to the main structure contain fragments that, under spectroscopic examination, reveal complex crystalline structures possibly used for energy storage or propulsion systems. The whistleblower claims that mathematical models created to simulate the vessel's trajectory suggest it entered our solar system from the direction of the constellation Ophiuchus, traveling at velocities that would require propulsion technology far beyond our current capabilities. NASA's response to the discovery has been to implement a complete information blackout. The whistleblower reports that all personnel involved were required to sign additional security clearances beyond their existing top-secret classifications. Data regarding the object was compartmentalized, with different teams analyzing separate aspects without knowledge of the bigger picture. Communication about the discovery was restricted to encrypted channels, and physical access to the relevant data centers was limited to a handful of individuals with presidential-level clearance. But why the secrecy? The answer, according to our source, lies in what was found inside preliminary scans of the vessel's interior. Using synthetic aperture radar and other remote sensing technologies, NASA was able to penetrate portions of the hull and create three-dimensional maps of internal structures. What they discovered was both fascinating and terrifying. The interior layout suggested habitation modules, what appeared to be cryogenic chambers, and vast cargo holds containing objects that registered on sensors as having unusual mass distributions and electromagnetic properties. Recent developments have added another layer to this mystery. In March 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope was quietly redirected to conduct observations of Saturn's orbital space, a maneuver that wasn't part of its published observation schedule. Astronomers outside the classified program noticed this unusual targeting but received no official explanation. Around the same time, the Space Force, America's newest military branch, launched a classified payload aboard a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. The payload's destination and purpose remain unknown, but sources suggest it may be related to closer observation, or even attempted contact with the derelict vessel. The Whistleblower describes seeing imagery that showed what appeared to be writing or symbolic markings on interior bulkheads of the craft. These symbols were geometric in nature, featuring patterns that seemed to combine mathematical concepts with what could be linguistic elements. A team of linguists, mathematicians, and cryptographers was covertly assembled to attempt decipherment, but progress has been limited. The symbols don't correspond to any known human writing system, ancient or modern, and their arrangement suggests a level of abstract thinking that is simultaneously alien and eerily logical. What's particularly unnerving is the condition of the ship's interior. Scans revealed what appeared to be damage consistent with rapid depressurization, possibly indicating a catastrophic hull breach while the vessel was occupied. Organic residue detected in several compartments suggested the presence of biological entities at some point, though whether these were the ship's original crew or something else entirely remains unknown. The residue's chemical composition includes amino acids, some of which are found in Earth-based life, but others that are completely novel, suggesting either a different biochemical foundation or contamination from multiple sources over the vessel's long drift through space. The implications of this discovery extend far beyond scientific curiosity. If confirmed and made public, it would represent definitive proof that humanity is not alone in the universe, and that intelligent civilizations capable of interstellar travel exist or existed. More troubling is what the vessel's damaged state suggests. Was this craft fleeing something? Was it destroyed in conflict? Did its crew perish from some catastrophic system failure, or did they abandon ship for reasons we can't yet comprehend? These questions haunt the researchers who have been exposed to this information. Government response to potential leaks has been aggressive. The whistleblower who came forward has been subjected to intense scrutiny, including surveillance and legal threats. Other individuals who attempted to share information about the discovery have faced similar treatment. This pattern of suppression suggests that authorities view this information as potentially destabilizing to social order. Historical precedent shows that revelations challenging fundamental assumptions about human uniqueness in the cosmos have been carefully managed or outright denied by institutions fearing public panic or religious upheaval. International implications add another dimension to this cover-up. Space treaties and agreements typically require sharing of significant discoveries, but there's evidence that NASA has not briefed international partners about this find. Russian space agency Roscosmos released a cryptic statement in January 2025, accusing Western space agencies of withholding critical data about objects of interest in the outer solar system. China's space program has also made unusual statements about the need for comprehensive surveys of planetary orbital spaces, possibly indicating they've detected something anomalous through their own observation networks. The technology visible in the derelict vessel represents a quantum leap beyond human engineering. Propulsion systems, if they could be understood and reverse engineered, might enable humanity to achieve interstellar travel within a single lifetime. Energy generation methods employed by the craft could solve Earth's energy crisis permanently. Material science advances from analyzing the hull could revolutionize construction, manufacturing, and space exploration. But these potential benefits come with profound risks. Any civilization capable of building such vessels might view humanity as insignificant or even as a threat to be eliminated. Theological and philosophical implications cannot be ignored. Major religious institutions have been quietly consulted by government officials about how to frame potential disclosure of extraterrestrial artifacts. These consultations reveal deep concern about how billions of believers might react to concrete evidence of non-human intelligence. Does the existence of alien civilizations challenge religious narratives about creation and humanity's special place in divine plans? Some theologians argue that discovery of alien life would be compatible with religious teachings, while others fear it could trigger crisis of faith on a global scale. The psychological impact on humanity of learning we're not alone would be immense. Sociologists and psychologists brought in to assess potential public reactions have produced conflicting reports. Some studies suggest humanity is more prepared for such revelations than authorities assume, pointing to decades of science fiction and gradual disclosure of UAP evidence. Others warn of potential societal disruption, including mass anxiety, religious extremism, and destabilization of economic systems as people reassess priorities and values in light of cosmic perspective. Commercial space interests are also part of this equation. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and others have made rapid advances in space technology, and there's speculation that some of these entities have been briefed on the Saturn discovery. Elon Musk's increasingly cryptic statements about the importance of making humanity multiplanetary take on new meaning if private sector leaders know about credible threats or opportunities. Beyond Earth, the possibility that commercial entities might attempt independent missions to investigate. The derelict vessel adds another layer of complexity to an already convoluted situation. Military. Strategists view the derelict vessel through a different lens entirely. If hostile forces, whether terrestrial or extraterrestrial, were to gain access to the technology aboard that ship, the balance of power on Earth and in space could shift dramatically. This fear drives much of the secrecy surrounding the discovery. The Space Force's involvement suggests military. Planners are considering scenarios, ranging from salvage operations to defensive measures, should the vessel prove to be anything other than truly derelict. Scientific. Protocols for studying the vessel face unprecedented challenges. Traditional methods of peer review and open scientific discourse cannot be applied to classified discoveries. Researchers working on the project operate in isolation, unable to consult with the broader scientific community. This compartmentalization likely slows progress and increases the risk of errors in analysis and interpretation. Some scientists involved in the project have expressed frustration with these constraints, arguing that humanity's first contact with definitive evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence deserves transparency and collective engagement rather than secretive government control. The vessel's trajectory raises additional questions that researchers are racing to answer. Computer simulations suggest that without active course corrections, the craft will eventually pass beyond Saturn's orbit and continue toward the outer reaches of the solar system. This creates urgency around any plans to study or interact with the object. However, mounting a crewed mission to Saturn's orbit is beyond current capabilities, and even robotic missions would require years of preparation and execution. Time is both abundant and scarce in the cold calculations of orbital mechanics and bureaucratic decision-making. Evidence of the cover-up extends beyond the whistleblower's testimony. Researchers monitoring NASA's public communications have noted unusual gaps and redactions in documents released through Freedom of Information Act requests. Budget allocations for certain deep space network operations show unexplained increases not accounted for in public program descriptions. Personnel movements within NASA reveal patterns of high-level scientists and engineers being transferred to undisclosed locations for extended periods, then returning to their regular positions without explanation. Public perception management appears to be a priority for those controlling information about the discovery. Gradual disclosure strategies may be underway, with carefully calculated leaks and statements designed to acclimate the public to the reality of extraterrestrial artifacts without causing panic. Recent increases in mainstream media coverage of UAPs and government acknowledgement of unexplained aerial phenomena could be part of this conditioning process. By normalizing the possibility of non-human intelligence, authorities may be preparing ground for eventual revelation of the Saturn discovery. The question of origin haunts every aspect of this mystery. Where did this vessel come from? What civilization built it? Are they still out there, perhaps searching for their lost ship? Or did whatever caused this vessel to become derelict also destroy its builders? The age estimates place the ship's arrival in our solar system at a time when human civilization was just beginning to form, when our ancestors were transitioning from hunter-gatherers to agricultural societies. Whatever intelligence built this craft was exploring the cosmos while humanity was learning to plant crops and domesticate animals. Comparative analysis with human spacecraft. Design reveals profound differences in engineering philosophy. The derelict vessel appears to prioritize redundancy and modularity to a degree far exceeding human spacecraft. This suggests its builders anticipated extremely long-duration missions where repair and adaptation would be necessary. The scale of the vessel also implies either a large crew or automated systems of sophistication we've yet to achieve. Some researchers speculate the ship might be a generation vessel, designed to transport populations across interstellar distances over multiple lifetimes.